This is Georgia Railroad on Legendary difficulty. So I'm going to show you my officers. Pretty good 3 stars. General Legendary is back in the is a division commander. So yeah, everybody has 61s. Each division has a couple 20-pound Parrots and a 24-pound howitzer. And I also brought a sniper. The sniper did very well, and bringing a sniper was a good idea. There might be an opportunity here for a cav unit too. So yeah, next time I want to bring a cav unit. Got 9 to 1, just short of 9 to 1. Killed 36,000 and lost 4,000. So yeah, 1,800 did not put a dent in the scaling. So what I did was I went to 2,000, which I'm about to show you. I just can't. I'm not interested in the 63s. The 61s are fine. So yeah, this is good. Um, just showing you where everything is. So for the rest of the army, you can see I have a few ballast units, but mostly my army is filled out right now. All of my units, I built them up to almost combat size before Cold Harbor. So we're going to drop the manpower pool after this battle. It's going to drop down to 43 to 48. Training is 81 to 86, which is just, I don't care anymore. So the first time I come here, I do this. I have 27,000 against 51,000. Or, no, it looks like he has 55,000. He actually has 51,000. That's what the game tells me at the end. So, yeah, I bump everybody to 2,000. That seems to work. I'm making a guess that yeah, see, scaling didn't change. I'm making a guess. So I have 29,000. Yeah. I'm making a guess that my units that are 2,000, which normally I don't, 1,800 is where I stop because your units become inefficient. I take my units to 2,000 with the hope that I detach skirmishers and my units will become more efficient because the skirmishers have been detached and now my units are what? They're like 17, 17 something, 1750 something around that area. So yeah, if my units are 1750, that should be good, but I don't know. I'll have to ask Pandakraut. If your units are 1750, but you have detached skirmishers, what happens to your efficiency? So does your efficiency go up or improve if you detach skirmishers, or does the game count everybody, even the detached skirmishers? I don't know. So the other thing I was thinking of is that if your units are in fortifications, then, well, how things work, the hidden mechanics of the game all change anyway. And I don't know exactly what those are. So, and probably only Pandakraut knows. So anyway, first thing I did was detach skirmishers all around and put these guys behind the line because I don't want anybody retreating through my line. I have the sniper on my far left. Pretty much the enemy is going to get a breakthrough right by this victory location in the south. That's pretty much a guarantee. This is the first time I fought this battle where the enemy didn't get a breakthrough there. So I have a couple of infantry in reserve. Turns out I have just about the right number of infantry units. Um, yeah, it works. I mean, it just works. It turns out okay. The only thing is that for a couple of hours in this battle, the enemy is, I mean, there's just a whole bunch of them. And they just keep charging. So I wish the battle would have gone on longer. We This army was really crushing the enemy at the end. He had less than 10,000 men, and I was actually counterattacking on the Union left and had taken all the woods. I've never taken all of the woods on the left side before, and took all the woods and was counterattack. Actually, um, yeah, you'll see. I took about half the map from him or something, or a third of the map. So no, more like half the map. I took half the map from him. So um, there's only one problem in this game. There's a there is a ghost cav bug that is going to happen on the Union right flank. And it happened to me twice. And once I reloaded, and the second time I just took it. And the cav will go right through your line into your backfield, and fortunately, Pandakraut has fixed this with his mod. 3-star enemy cav units getting into the rear of your army and just fighting to the death, and mixing it up in melee with your artillery. Basically, he goes through 2 infantry, 2 detached skirmishers. You can see I have detached skirmishers everywhere. Trying to prevent this kind of nonsense. Go right through my detached skirmishers, right into my artillery, and get into melee with my artillery, and be outnumbered some enormous number, like 3 of my units, 4 or 5 of my units fighting against him. And yeah, and he just fights to the death. He'll just stand there and fight to the death. He'll lose, but he'll inflict casualties. So yeah, I had a unit rout, not a surprise. That location right there is very prone to that. So I did kind of mangle up the defense there. You can see that we've just started the battle, and I've already started my counterattack on the enemy flank. Thought I was going to launch that counterattack a little later, but things were going so well over here that I just launched the counterattack. And it goes really well. So I think you have to hit pause in this battle frequently. Now, I've edited that out because it's real boring, but you have to check where your units are firing, because they'll be firing at something stupid. Just put the mouse over top of your units. Make sure they're firing at the target you want them to fire at, and your artillery too. And the other thing I'd say is melee cav, which is going to be on the Union right. Make sure those guys are getting all of the canister to the face that you possibly can, because if you hit them with artillery, they behave a little better. They're less likely to charge into your line and then charge through your line. So there he goes. I think that's the unit right there. That's him. Right through the lines, doesn't care, right through the fort, doesn't care. Yep, right into my artillery. Straight line, right through my line, right through everybody, right into my artillery. And yeah, that just completely sucks. So yeah, I'm taking a look at that. Actually, that's not so bad. But I'm looking at my artillery losing men, and it's pissing me off. And instead of rage quitting, I just reload. But yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a 3-star, it's a 3-star 24-pound howitzer. No, just no. So just reload, and here comes that our cav unit again. You can see him, but I have targeted my artillery and my infantry on him, and yeah, he backs away. Now he's going to ghost cav me later on, but I'm just going to take that one because it's not quite as bad. I target him, everybody hits him. He does do some damage to my 24-pound howitzer. I think he's cost me a gun, but turns out in camp, I don't think I lost a gun. Or if I did, I lost one. I mean, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's just not a big deal. So he killed like a few men, but he didn't do huge damage. So yeah, I didn't mind that terribly. So yeah, over here on the Union left, detached skirmishers and my sniper unit are just tearing him up, and we'll continue to tear him up. He is kind of stacked on his left. Here he is again. Yeah, this time he goes through, and so yeah, I hit fall back on my 24-pound howitzer, and for some reason, my 20-pound Parrott doesn't look like it. He fires at this guy, and it might be because it's a ghost unit. Maybe he can't see it. I don't know. So I don't know what the reason is, but Yeah, all right. Um, there were two artillery units there that should have been firing canister into that guy, and they didn't because I think he was a ghost. I don't know. But anyway, that was screwed up, but he died. So, and he didn't kill that many of my, um, he didn't do that much damage to my 24-pound howitzer. So I check on my 24-pound howitzer. He doesn't look too bad. He's lost some morale and some condition, but he can still fight, so I'm okay. So here he keeps charging into the line. He's going to do this over and over again. The detached skirmishers are going to put fire into anybody who charges and also make sure that the enemy units, the detached skirmishers make sure the enemy does not retreat to the rear of your lines. That's the main point of them. The AI calculates that there's an infantry unit there, and he's programmed to retreat away from your army. So that's all good. So on my left flank, I had a 24-pound Parrott and a 20-pound a 20-pound Parrott and a 24-pound howitzer, and I moved those closer to the line. So yeah, I've edited out. Um, I've moved the supply wagon all the way to the Union left and then back to the Union right, and now it's yeah, it's my units didn't run out of supply or ammo, but they were getting a little low. But by moving the wagon back and forth, everyone stayed in supply over on the front line, so that's very good. So I'm actually hitting pause and looking at both my right and left flank. And yeah, over here, things are going really well. On the left, if you look at the strategic map, the guys are doing great. They're just slowly advancing. Um, yeah, all the artillery that was over there has been killed. And we're going to drive these guys out. They're all flashing white, and they're all going to fall back. And I plan on just taking the woods and stopping, but I end up attacking across the river and coming up and actually collapsing the Confederate right completely, killing more infantry and artillery. So yeah, we're gonna crush these guys and just keep going. Um, and I have in that little fish hook, I pulled guys out of the defense of the fortified position and moved them forward. And you can see I'm starting to push my artillery forward, so it's getting canister and exploding shell damage on the enemy. And yeah, it's crippling. I mean, the unit just walked up and took shots, and that's what you want. So on my left, everybody's moving forward. On my right, he still has most of his army over there, and we're just holding. So at some point, what you're going to see is I take one of my infantry that's been fighting and put him in a fortified position on my left, one of them that I'm still occupying, and I take a fairly I take a unit that hasn't taken any casualties, pretty much still over 1,700, and I have it run over to my right flank to reinforce it. I can do that because everything on the left is going very well, and on the right, I'm just going to reinforce it just in case. So that's going to happen in a minute. Yeah, his units are getting pretty low in size. I see some of his units are over 1,000, but some of them are in the 700 range. Yeah, by taking my units to 2,000, my intention was that everybody would lose at least 200. I mean, I'm going to be attacked by over 50,000 men. I expect everybody's going to lose 200. I think 3 of my units did not lose 200. I think they lost less than 200. So I go to camp and I have maybe 3 units that have over 1,800 men. My hope was that I wouldn't have any units with over 1,800 men. It's not like You know, it's not like anybody's sitting out the battle. Everybody's fighting. But just a couple of the units didn't take very many losses. So I think everyone got a lot of kills here. Everybody plays. Everybody does lots of fighting. But there were a couple units that did not lose 200 men. They lost less than that. And so they have over 1,800. 1,800 is the max that I'm going to go into Richmond with. And that's probably only going to be first corps. Second corps, I'm thinking, is going to be 1,700, 1,750, and then after that it's going to be closer to 1,500, 16 to 1,650. But really, I've pretty much made my army whatever size it is. I mean, it's already built, it's already scaled up, so I don't have that much more to add to my army. Yeah, the enemy right now is pretty much beat. We only have 1 hour in game to go, and yeah, I had a unit run over, and then I put him on the front line, and this guy who is down to 1,100 remerge his skirmisher back in. Maybe he's up to 1,300. I have him swap out with a fresh unit just because he's lost an officer, and yeah, he can do that. I think he's going to lose another 100 men because there's going to be pass-through damage, but he does a fine job. Yeah, I really think this battle is a battle where you really have to make sure your units are doing what you want them to do. So, yeah, my sniper is now really behind the enemy. My units are pretty tired. I've sent two detached skirmishers who are pretty tired off to chase down a supply wagon, and they're going to capture it, and then they're going to come up behind the enemy line and just do damage. This is why I think a cav unit would be very good. The potential to do just lots of harm is there. Yeah, if I had a cav unit there instead of a detached skirmisher, yeah, it'd be a great time. So that ammo wagon is going to go over and give my sniper some more ammunition, so that's good. So my supply wagon is finally out of ammo, but you can see that most of my units have, with 10 logistics, most of my infantry should have plenty of ammo. Looking at my detached skirmishers and my infantry, they still have plenty. The artillery is still doing fine. The only thing in trouble is one 24-pound howitzer. And that 24-pound howitzer, I think, was on the far left and did not get the resupply. I don't think he got the resupply from the ammo wagon the first time he came by, because he was just too far away. Everybody else got resupplied but that guy. So I think that's his story. So yeah, I moved the supply wagon from my right to my left. Didn't resupply that guy because he was too far away. Then back to the right to resupply everybody. Back to the left. Now he's out of ammo. He's empty. But if he had some, I would send him back to the right again. So yeah, the two detached skirmishers are just doing a great job. Wish I had a cav unit as I'm looking at this. That'd even be more fun. And you're going to see I spot a supply wagon, enemy supply wagon, but my detached skirmishers are exhausted, and there's no chance that, you know, I'm going to be able to catch him. Yeah, I'm going to send him over there, but 12, 11 in-game minutes, you know, we're not going to catch that supply wagon on the other side of a river. So need something moves a little faster. So yeah, we've taken about half of the map away from the enemy. If I had another, I don't know, I'd really like to just go get him, but I don't know if there's any point to it. At this point, I have driven his manpower pool down to, what, 43? It's just, I don't think I don't think you can drive it any lower. I mean, it's in the basement. So, yeah, 1 minute to go in game, and look, his units are down to like 300, 400, and yeah. So after medicine, I lost about 4,000. He lost, what did he lose? 30, almost 37,000, close to 40,000. So, yeah, 3,500 kills, 2,700 kills, 2,500. Iron Brigade did well. Irish Brigade. A couple of my units took some pretty heavy hits, but I kind of expected it. I mean, I was attacked by 50,000. Yeah, 20-pound parrots got about 1,000 kills. That's normal. 3 dead officers. So 2,000 Fayettevilles. Thank you very much for the cash. Love the Fayettevilles. I'll take those every time. That's one of the things I love about Legendary and the dropping Fayettevilles. That is just great. Okay, so I have, oh my goodness, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 units that have 1,800. I only lost 1 gun because of the Ghost Cav. Not a big deal. Keep the 3-star. It'll be easy. I have $675,000 going into Richmond, but my army's already filled out. I don't know what I'm going to do with all that money. I have a bunch of stuff to sell yet. 43 to 48, yeah. And looking at this, he has 88,275 guns, and I'll just drop my army in. And I'm going to add some more, but I have about almost 100,500 guns. And yeah, it's already built, and my army's in great shape, and I'll see you in Richmond. Thanks.